guys, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel. So this week I'm going to be sharing with you guys another story time video of my horror ear piercing story. Also, if you guys haven't checked out my cover I posted on my main channel, definitely go do that. I'll leave a link right in the description below. So yeah, make sure you check that out and let's get into the story. My 9th grade school is in a separate school. So we have kindergarten through 6th in elementary school, then 7th and 8th in one school, 9th grade in its own school, and then 10th through 12th in another school. So I was in 9th grade in this one school with only 9th graders, and I had my second holes pierced, and I'm gonna show you guys. I don't know if you can see, but like I have 4 in this ear, and I have 5 in this ear. Yeah, I have a lot of piercings. And I have my belly button pierced, but anyway. I had my second holes pierced at the time and my first holes, and I really wanted my third hole and my cartilage pierced. And me, my cousin, and my best friend all wanted it. Like, I remember I would like text my cousin all the time and be like, I want it so bad, and she wanted hers so bad. And my best friend at the time also wanted to pierce her own. So after begging my mom for weeks, she finally let me go get it done, and I was so excited. I remember I got like blue, I think, in my third hole, and then for my cartilage I got pink, or maybe it was vice versa. I just remember blue and pink, and I remember being so excited to go back into school with them. I wanted to show everybody them. I was just so excited. So I remember that same day I texted my best friend after I got them, and I sent her a picture, and the next day I go into school and she pierced her own third hole and her cartilage, which was really crazy. So we go into school, I'm showing everybody my ears all day. I probably had my hair up, I don't even remember. Actually, I don't even think I did. I don't remember, but I'm showing everyone my ears all day, thinking I was so cool. And then third period comes around, and my best friend used to sit next to me in chorus, and we were talking about my ear piercing. And I was like, how did you do yours, like by yourself? And she was telling me how she iced it and whatever. Then she asked me if it hurt when I touched it. And I touched this, and I was like, no, it doesn't hurt at all. And she was like, well, really? Because when I did mine hurt so much. Like, you really can't even touch them. I bet you it hurts you just as bad as it hurt me. Me being annoying, and I was just like, no, look, it doesn't hurt at all. Look, I can touch it like this and like this. Like, it literally doesn't hurt at all. And I kept touching my ears and spinning them, because I wanted to show her that it wasn't hurting me, because it wasn't at the time. Now, I go home. Mind you, at the piercing places, they tell you, don't touch your ears. Wash your earrings every day. Don't touch your ears. That's like the #1 thing. You can't touch your new piercings. So I left school, I go back to, I was living at my grandma's house at the time because my house got destroyed by Hurricane Sandy, which I will save for another video. But yeah, so I was living at my grandma's at the time. I left school, went to her house, and everything was fine, living my day, whatever. And I go to sleep, and I remember specifically cleaning my ear piercings before I went to bed, because I remember touching them, and I remember you're not supposed to touch them. So I just cleaned them really well, and then I went to sleep. So at this time I was sleeping on an air mattress next to my mom, because there was only one bed, and my sister shoddied the bed. I don't know why we let her do that, but so my sister was sleeping on the bed, me and my mom were sleeping on this big air mattress. And I remember it had to be like 4 in the morning, like 4 or 5 in the morning, around there. I honestly can't remember. And you know when you wake up out of a dream and like you know you're awake, but your like eyes are still closed and you're kind of still like in that sleep mode? I was there, and I kept like taking the covers off me and spinning around, and like I couldn't get comfortable, and I was hot, I was cold, I was hot, I was cold. I kept getting the chills, and then I kept getting really hot. So I remember like finally my brain was like, hey, wake up, something's wrong with you. So I woke up and I went to sit up, and I couldn't. I just laid in my bed, and I remember this specifically. I laid in my bed with my air mattress, and I looked up, and like the room was literally spinning. The room, not even spinning actually, it was more like shaking around. It was weird. And I was like, what is going on? Like, did my grandma drug my food? What is going on? So I was extremely dizzy. I couldn't see straight at all. And then I remember trying to get up off the air mattress to go to the bathroom, because for some reason I thought I was gonna like throw up. And I literally stood up and my knees just collapsed underneath me. Like, I couldn't stand stand. So I started crawling into the bathroom, picked myself up, sat on top of the toilet seat, and I was like, what is going on? I can't even explain the feeling. Like, if you've ever had a fever, you would understand the feeling, except I literally think this fever was like 103, 104. Like it had to be really bad, because I've had fevers before. I had a fever last summer when I had strep throat. I know what a fever feels like, and it feels really bad, but this was like the worst I've ever felt. Like, I never seen rooms spinning and stuff. Like, it was insane. I remember I could barely talk. I like crawled back to my mattress, woke up my mom. I was like, Mom, I don't feel good. And she was like, let me feel your head. And she felt my head, and she was like, you're burning up. Let me go get you some Advil. So my mom had to leave because we didn't have any Advil in my grandma's house. So she had to leave, go pick up some Advil. And I just remember while I was sitting there waiting for her, I just kept feeling like I was going to die. Like, I was so dizzy. I couldn't focus on anything. Like, I'd try to think about one thing and I couldn't. I'd go on my phone to get my mind off it, and I just literally, like, even being on my phone just like was too much for me to handle. Like, it would make me feel sick. So I just put everything down and just stared at the ceiling until she came back. And she came back and she like gave me Advil, whatever, but we didn't know why I had this fever. So my mom puts a rag on my head, I take the Advil, I fall asleep. The next morning I wake up, obviously not going to school, and I remember just feeling so disgusting. Like, I felt horrible. And I went downstairs, my grandma made me some breakfast, and we were just talking and stuff, and then I remember like my ear felt like it was burning. So, even to this day when I touch my ear, it reminds me of this and it grosses me out so much. So my ear felt like it was burning, and I touched my ear, and it literally, like, the whole back and just every part of it was like swollen. Like, when I try to explain this to people, they don't understand. My ear felt like it was 4 times thicker than like my normal ear. And it was literally that like puffy. And I remember just feeling it, and it felt so weird. Literally, I can't even touch my ear. It's so gross. It was literally 4 times like the size of my normal ear, and I was like, oh my god, like, talk about having a piercing infection. That was insane. So I was like, oh my god, and I was like, Mom, wait, look at my ear. Does it look weird? And she was like, oh my god, I think your ear is infected. And I was like, yeah, I think so too. So she was like, we're gonna have to go to the doctor. So I went to the emergency medic because we didn't want to wait for an appointment. And I remember being in that room, like, I was crying because I just felt so horrible. The doctor looked at my ear and he was like, oh my god, like, we have to take these piercings out. And I remember just crying, being so mad. I did not want to take them out. Like, I was like, is there anything else? Like, can't we just like put ointment on it and it'll go away? Like, I swear I don't have to take them out. And I was literally crying because I was so upset because I really wanted my piercings and I finally got them. So he was like, no, there's no way you could keep these in. Your ear is way too infected. We have to take them out. So I remember him trying to take the earrings out, and I don't know if you guys have ever gotten your ears pierced or not at like a place, but like when they use a gun, it has this back where it's really hard to get off your ear. Like, you have to really pull it. And my ear at this point was in so much pain. Even touching the piercings hurt. So when he was trying to rip the piercings out of my ear, they like wouldn't come out. And I just remember it hurting so bad. Like, it was the worst pain. It hurt so bad. And I literally was crying. It hurt so bad. And he took out 2 on this ear, and he took the 1 out on this ear in case. So I remember being really, really angry, and I was just like, I really wanted my ears pierced. I really want to not take them out. And I thought that I was so smart. I was like, wait a second, I don't have to take out my piercings if my ear is infected, because my earring has been, like, my second hole got a little infected before, so I just figured, like, I could put them back in, it'll be fine. I'll just leave this doctor's office, he gave me medicine to take, and I'll just put these right back in when I get back to my grandma's. I get back to my grandma's, I made my mom give me the earrings. I think I got this one in, but then these 2 were completely closed. and I remember just like touching the earring to it hurt so bad. I was like, no, never mind. I took that one out. I was like, I'll just get them re-pierced when my ear is uninfected. So yeah, I remember like going to school and my ear was just throbbing. It was so red, so puffy. I wore my hair parted to the opposite side to try and hide the ear, and I was just so upset that I couldn't have my piercings. And yeah, but I'm gonna say a couple months later, I re-pierced my third hole, I re-pierced my cartilage. I mean, I got it done, I didn't do it myself. And then like a year later, I pierced my own fourth hole. I remember hiding it from my mom and dad for like the longest time because I was scared they were gonna be mad at me. Hey mom, hey dad. But yeah, so that is my horror ear piercing story about my infected ear and how I had to go to the doctor to get medication to fix it because it was 4 times the size of my normal ear. And it didn't go down until like a week later. It was so gross. I can't even explain. Till this day, I just can't like touch my ear, especially like the back part. Ugh, it just grosses me out so much. Yeah, but okay, so I hope you guys liked this video. Make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and let me know down in the comments below if you guys have ever experienced some horror piercing story or ever had an infection in your ear or anywhere. And yeah, I will see you people next week.